Anthony Grasso here, bringing you financial news you can use. In this video, I'm doing a stock analysis on Etsy. Can they continue their pandemic growth rates beyond the COVID-19 crisis? Well, let's find out together. I'm going to go over a summary of the company, product offerings, headline news, financials, analyst projections, and give it my buy, hold, or sell recommendation for both your short-term and long-term growth investors out there. And as always, folks, don't forget to smash that like button down below and consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to hear daily stock reviews and recommendations from an unbiased source. So let's get right into it. So Etsy, what they do is they operate a marketplace where people around the world connect both online and offline to make, sell, and buy goods. The company offers a range of seller services and tools that help entrepreneurs start, grow, and manage their businesses. The company's community includes Etsy sellers, Etsy buyers, Etsy employees, its partners, and investors. Etsy sellers join its community to participate in its markets to express their creativity. Etsy sellers range from hobbyists to professional merchants and have a range of personal and professional goals. It supports a group of artists, makers, designers, and collectors from all around the world. Its services platform includes seller services, seller tools, and education. The company's seller services include direct checkout, promoted listings, shipping labels, and patterns by Etsy. So let's look at some funny news that happened just a couple of weeks ago. So a funny story brings Elon Musk into the fray for Etsy. Now, Etsy rose 3.5% the day that Elon Musk tweeted about how he kind of loves the online marketplace for independent creators. Anything that Elon Musk tweets has an immediate impact on the world and on any stock. And I've noticed this with any stock he tweets about. So let's go ahead and look at some of the fundamentals of the company. So the company currently has a market capitalization of around $28.5 billion. Earnings grew about 119% over the past year. That's huge. It's projected to have revenues totaling in 2020 of around $1.62 billion, with earnings of $281 million. Now, the earnings are forecast to grow 23.58% per year. Its projected revenue by the end of 2024 should be $3.3 billion, with earnings of $742 million. So the projections look great for Etsy in the years to come. The short-term liabilities now and the long-term liabilities, the short-term assets of Etsy exceed both the short-term and long-term liabilities. And Etsy's debt-to-equity ratio of 158%, though, is considered high. But Etsy's debt-to-equity ratio has increased from 0% to 158% over the past 5 years. Now, the debt is well covered, though, by operating cash flow of 48.7%. And Etsy's interest payments on its debt are well covered by EBIT of 9.5 times coverage. So let me bring it back here. So what do the analysts say about this? Now, the current consensus right now, it is a buy. The average Etsy stock price target is $195 with a high estimate of $250 and a low estimate of $93. And it's currently trading at $225 a share. So it's well above the median. So it's kind of slightly overvalued right now. Now, going over a few of the analyst reports, the CFRA report has Etsy as a whole with a high risk assessment that reflects uncertainties regarding the full impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the company's operations, United States and international markets. Intense competition from significantly larger rivals within the online retail landscape across relatively mature market categories and the relatively limited geographic diversification. This is partly offset by an increasingly diversified base of active sellers combined with an inventory-light business model and some flexibility in the leverage capital structure. Now, their whole opinion partly reflects that they view it as a fair risk/reward for the shares, which had more than tripled in 2020 through late October, and it's definitely been on a rocket in 2021. Now, after better than expected Q3 results that benefited from the COVID-19 demand tailwinds, they think Etsy's guidance portends sustainable momentum through the holiday selling season. Longer term, they think Etsy remains well positioned as a prime beneficiary of secular e-commerce growth in the United States and international markets. Now, with the inventory light business model, they think Etsy could sustain a high 20s to low 30s return on invested capital over the next several years. The risks to their recommendation and target price include uncertainties related to the COVID-19 pandemic, intense competition players like Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, merger execution risk, and dilutive acquisitions, and a sharp slowdown in global consumer spending. Their 12-month target price is $165. Reflects a price to sales book ratio of 11.5 times. Their 2021 estimate is well above the internet retail peers and versus Etsy's 5-year historical average of 6.3 times. We see Etsy as a steep valuation premium, partly warranted by what view as significantly above average prospects for sales and EPS growth. They do have some concerns there, and it's definitely trading way above their targets. They target at 165 in the next 12 months. It's definitely way above that at 225. Now, the Ford Equity Research Report has a hold on Etsy, and they project that Etsy will perform in line with the market over the next 6 to 12 months, though. So they have a little bit a better outlook for Etsy than the other report. Now, Ford's recommendation on Etsy is a result of their systematic analysis on the 3 basic characteristics they look at: earning strength, relative valuation, and recent stock price movement. The company has managed to produce a neutral trend in earnings per share over the last 5 quarters. And while recent estimates for the company have remained steady, Etsy has posted better than expected results each time. Based on operating earnings yield, the company is about fairly valued when compared to all the companies that they cover. Share price changes over the past year indicates Etsy will perform very well over the near term. Now, the street ratings is a buyer recommendation on Etsy with a price target of $289. So they definitely see something else that the other research reports don't in the next 12 months. This is driven by some important positives, which they believe should have a greater impact than any weaknesses and should give investors a better performance opportunity than most stocks that they cover. The company's strengths can be seen in multiple areas, such as the robust revenue growth, notable return on equity, expanding profit margins, good cash flow from operations, and solid stock price performance. They feel the strengths outweigh the fact that the company is trading at a premium valuation based on their review of the current price compared to such things as its earnings and book value. So based on all those recommendations, I mean, one was a hold, one was don't buy, one was a hold. So I'm a buy, hold, or sell recommendation. Here are my thoughts. The online marketplace for homemade crafts and vintage items jumped over 300% over the last year with the help of transitioning to e-commerce during the pandemic. Is Etsy still a stock to buy post-pandemic, though? As public health officials encouraged Americans to wear fabric face masks, that became Etsy's moment of opportunity in 2020. The company witnessed a tremendous surge of demand for homemade artisan face masks. The result, Etsy sold about 133 million worth of fabric face masks, about 12 million of them in the month of April 2020 alone. And then when Etsy reported the second quarter earnings on August 5th, Etsy sold 346 million worth of masks. Importantly, non-mask sales grew 93% in the quarter. Then on October 28th, Etsy reported third quarter results that came in well above the estimates. Now, the Davidson analyst Tom Forte says Etsy has one of the best business models he's seen. It has outmaneuvered eBay, avoided the Amazon crush, and dodged competition from Overstock.com and Wayfair. Now, the sellers give Etsy a huge strategic advantage here, which is something that they will carry into the holidays and beyond, said Forte, who has a buy rating on Etsy stock and a price target of 160, and that was pre-holiday season. We're well above that right now. Etsy has not announced when it will report fourth quarter results. It's going to be towards the end of February. Now, among previous improvements made by the company, Etsy changed its advertising platform. It made meaningful strides in search and discovery by making the homepage more personalized and dynamic. It also made progress improving its mobile app and transferred computing operations to the cloud. Now, consumer shopping habits have been greatly influenced by the events of 2020, and Etsy truly stands for something different, said Chief Executive Josh Silverman in comments to analysts after the earnings report of quarter 3. He said, we've been able to sustain growth by driving retention and frequency of their existing buyers, as well as becoming an important shopping destination for new buyers. Now, Etsy is part of a rapidly expanding addressable market right now. The global e-commerce market is forecast to touch $4.5 trillion by 2024, according to an eMarketer report, as the shift towards online shopping will continue to gain pace in the upcoming decade. Now, Etsy has a strong growth strategy, a well-known brand name, a big market opportunity. Etsy looks like a solid long-term investment, but here's the but. Etsy is overvalued at the current moment, probably by $25. It should be, $180 to $190 a share right now, for fair valuation. But based on all of that, I am a long-term bull on Etsy. But with a note of caution, since it is overvalued at the moment, I would buy in the next dip in the stock around about $2,200 a share and hold for the long term. I would put a share price target over the next 12 months to be $245, but I could see this going maybe even $275 over the next 12 months. But if you wait for quarter earnings report towards the end of February, I expect Etsy to beat consensus by some margin. Now, if you're a little hesitant on if it did beat quarter four results, you might want to wait until those results come out at the end of February, 3 more weeks. Now, Etsy's top and bottom line growth rates will be likely the key focus on the quarterly 4 report, like it was both in quarter 2, quarter 3, beforehand. The coming quarter will be important to show that Etsy's COVID traction hasn't faded and the marketplace is still delivering growth. So you might just want to wait for those quarter 4 reports to come out to see if you want to purchase into the stock. So there you have it, folks. And as always, don't forget to smash that like button down below and consider subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like to hear daily stock reviews and recommendations from an unbiased source. Until the next stock update video later today, folks. Ciao.